I want you to take this. Okay. Now I want you to take these currency bars as their strength. Now USD has a full bar right now, which means USD is very strong. NZD has only one bar, which means NZD is weak. Now I want you to take these things literally. If USD was a person and CHF was also a person and they both enter into a battle, who do you think is going to win that fight? Obviously, it will be USD. If GBP was a person and CHF was a person, they both enter a battle. Who do you think is going to win that fight? Exactly. So basically, I want you to take them literally. Now, any currency that comes first, let's just call that the buyer's market. And the second currency is the seller's market. I'm actually going to log into any broker right now and just use that to explain. Let me use, which account am I going to use? Now, as you guys can see, by the left-hand side of this broker, there are different currency pairs. USD. Now, let's take USD and JPY, for instance. Take USD as the buyer's market and JPY as the seller's market. Now, going back to the currency strength, USD and JPY, if they were to fight literally, who do you think is going to win that fight? Exactly, USD, which means if the buyers are winning, the buyer's market are winning the fight against the seller's market, what is going to happen to that market? Is the market going to buy or sell? Exactly. Someone said buy. Wonderful. Are there any other okay, good. Someone else said buy. So I believe you guys understand how the currency strength meter works. So basically, you're taking one currency against another currency and checking the strength between the two currencies. Obviously, it is the currency with higher strength, it's the currency with higher bar that is going to win the fight. So if we're taking Euro USD, for instance, Euro is the buyer's market, USD is the seller's market. Who do you think is going to win this fight? Is it the buyers or the sellers? Euro or USD? Who's going to win this? Exactly. So is the market going to buy or sell? Good. The market is going to sell. I believe you guys understand how currency strength meter works. You're basically looking at the currencies and their strength and knowing the direction of the market. Now, currency strength meter, I believe, does everybody understand how the currency strength meter works? Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to move straight into Hourglass. I'm going to explain Hourglass for you. I think I need to get somewhat. Coach Izzy, are you on the call? Coach Izzy. Azar. All right. So we're going to move ahead then. Um, Now, Hourglass. by the right-hand side of your hourglass, you have the alert panel. You have your alert panel. This is literally where you're getting trade ideas from. On the top, you have USD JPY. Now, you're basically taking the currencies, you're basically taking the trade ideas that are most recent. Now, if you see this one about a minute ago, or that's 6 minutes ago. Now, any trade idea that is above 5 minutes, you literally cannot take that. So you are taking the most recent. Now, like I said, Cashtrap has an inbuilt currency strength meter. USD, JPY. As you can see, USD is 69, JPY is 64. What is going to happen to this market? Is this market selling? Can you guys hear me? USD against JPY, according to what we see here, 69 against 64. Is this market going to buy or sell? All right, wonderful. This market is going to buy. So basically, you're looking at all the currencies and knowing the direction of the market. So yes, I look at the inbuilt currency strength meter in Cashtrap. I also look at the currency strength meter on currencystrengthmeter.org, just so I know the distance between the two. Now, moving on, I'm about to explain this interface to you. Let me try zooming in. Now, this green arrow you see, basically this is called the arrow. It's called the call arrow. If you check, you might see a red arrow somewhere else, which is known as the put arrow. So basically, call, it means buy, put means sell. So anywhere you see call, it means you should buy. And anywhere you see put, it means you should sell. So I'm going to explain everything about Cashtrap, and then I will explain the point system for you, because basically 3 points means you're taking a good trade, 4 points means you're taking a better trade, 5 points and above means you're taking an amazing trade. Now, this green arrow you see is the call arrow, the red arrow is the put arrow. Now, these three lines that are intertwining, that look like evil spirits, like someone called it, these three red lines and these three blue green lines are known as the Bollinger Bands. These red lines you see here, that my arrow is on top, are known as the resistances, while the green lines you see, these green straight lines, which you would need to extend, are known as the supports. This red line under all these candles is known as the EMA. EMA means exponential moving average. This is known as the 200 EMA. Now, so most of the times you're going to see this line above the candles. This is also the 200 EMA, but they both signify something if they are below and if they are above. Now, if you see this 200 EMA below all these candles, it means this market is in a buy trend. If you see the 200 EMA above all the candles, it means this market is in a sell trend. Now, from what we can see here in this USD JPY, is this market in a buy trend or in a sell trend? Good. I believe you guys are getting it. The market is in a buy trend. Now, that explains. Now, these red things you see in the middle are known as your candles, the red and blue. Now, the red candle is known as the sell candle, while the blue candle is known as the buy candle. Now, moving on, we see here S, B, 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 S, B. This is known as the DMI stochastic. This is basically another indicator of which direction this market is moving. Below that is your stochastic. You have your stochastic, and after that, you have your RSI. Now, your stochastic, these green dotted lines are the lines for a buy, and these red dotted lines are the lines for a sell. Now, if you have your price crossing up from the green dotted lines, it is an indication for a buy. If you have your price crossing down from the red dotted lines, is an indication for a sell. If you notice here, price crossed down here, which means it was selling, and price crossed up here, which means it was buying. The same thing with the RSI. So now, you would basically, before taking a trade, you're basically looking for points. And I'm going to explain what points are what in a few minutes. Now, by the right-hand side, basically, this is a 5-minute candle, as you can see here. And by the right-hand side, there's a countdown. There's a timer showing you what, how long it is to the next candle. As you can see here, you have 3 minutes and a few seconds to your next candle. And we've already seen that this market is in a buy trend because of this 200 exponential moving average. So all we are going to do now is wait for this arrow to change, which will indicate another point. So since this market is in a buy trend, we are going to wait for this arrow to change to a buy. So basically, this is the countdown to a new candle. If today were it a Friday, I would actually show you guys live why I would take this trade. But moving on, yeah. So moving on, I think my dog's actually disturbing. Moving on, I'm actually going to show you guys how we count the points. Now, a put arrow or a call arrow, depending on the trend of the market, is 1 point. If you have your price, now what I mean by price here are your candles. If you have your price at the support, now for instance, if you're taking a buy arrow is 1 point. If you have your price at the support, it is another point. Now supports are this red line, these green lines, resistances are the red lines. Now, to better explain support and resistance, if you have a tennis ball and you're in a room, basically the top is a POP roof, and below you also have tiles or something. If you throw that tennis ball up to the POP roof and down, basically the ball is going to hit the roof, the ceiling, and come down, bounce on the floor. So basically that ceiling and your floor is your support and resistance. Now, hook to the same POP, you keep throwing it over and over again, you keep hitting that same spot. What's going to happen to the POP? Good. Thank you, Priya. It's going to break. So most of the times when price hits the same point over and over again, there's also sometimes a break will occur, which is where you always hear, oh, it has broken your support. Oh, it has broken your resistance. That is where a rollover occurs. Now, your old support can become your new resistance, and your new resistance can be your old resistance can be your new support from a lot of candles. So that's why most times, if you're looking at Cashtrap, we use old resistances as new support and so on. So basically, that's how we explain support and resistance. Now, like I said, if you're taking a buy, if you're in a buy trend, that's the second place. All right. So if you're taking a buy, if you're in a buy trend, that buy arrow signifies 1 point. If your price is at your support, because basically you buy from support and you sell from resistances. So if your price, which is your candles, is at your support line, that is another point, another indication for a buy. If your price is also at your green Bollinger Band, that is a third point, a third indication for a buy. Now remember, How many points do we say we need to take a trade, and what kind of trade is it? 3 points is what trade? Good. Now, guys, please feel free to bring me back at any point so that I'll re-explain if you do not understand. Now, 3 points is a good trade, 4 points is a better trade, and 5 points and above is an amazing trade. Now, 1 point, if you're in a buy trade, 1 point is having the arrow pointing for a call or a buy. Another point is having your arrow on the support. The third point, is having your price on the support. The third point is having your price at your green Bollinger Band. Now, the fourth point is having this line below the candles, which means when your price is below your 200 exponential moving average, your 200 EMA is below the candles, that is a good indication for a buy. That is your fourth point. Now, if you have B on the DMI stochastic, B means buy, S means sell. Now you're looking for buys in a buy trend. USD is stronger than JPY, meaning you're buying in that trend. So if you're looking for buys and you have B on the stochastic, that is another point. So now this is your fifth point. If you have your price crossing up, crossing from this green line, that is your sixth point. If you have your price crossing from your RSI, that is your 7 points. Now, that's 7 points trade. 7 points is an amazing trade. Now, if I were actually supposed to take this trade, I am actually going to count the number of points. Are you guys with me? Let's count the points together. So, guys, can you hear me? I've been talking for a while. I've been getting a response. I think my mic was off. So, guys, now together we're going to count the point system. Like I said, if you have B on your DMI stochastic, it is basically an indication for a buy. If you have your price at your green support line in your stochastic, is another indication for a buy. If you have your price at your RSI in the green side, is another indication for a buy. Now we're going to count these points together. Now your first currency is stronger than your second currency. USD JPY. USD is 71. JPY is 63. Is this market going to buy or sell? Buy. That is how many points? That is 1 point. Remember, we're looking for 3 points to take a good trade, 4 points to take a better trade, 5 points to take an amazing trade. Now, your second point is the price at your green support line. As you can see, let me zoom in for you guys. Is price at your green support line. This is your green support line. Is price at your green support line. Sorry, this thing just changed. Okay. Okay. Now, guys, is price at your green support line. This is the green support line. Is price at your green support line. Okay, maybe good. Now, price at your green support line. That's your second point. That's 2 points. Is the currency calling out? As you can see, this market is already buying, but we'll go ahead. Now, is this currency calling out for a buy? Are you seeing a call or a put there? The arrow, is it calling out for a buy? Good. It's calling out for a buy. That's call. That's your third point. Now, your fourth point. Is there a B on the stochastic or an S on the stochastic? The DMI stochastic. There's a B. As you can see here, there's a B on the DMI stochastic. That is your fourth point. Fifth point is the price crossing this green support, this green line, this green stochastic line. Is your price crossing this green dotted stochastic line? Yes, that is your 6 point. Thank you, Pere. Now, is your price also at this green RSI line down here? Good. Now that is your 7 point. As you can see, this is a 7-point trade. And if I were to take this trade, I would actually come in here and look for an entry and take this trade. Now, basically, this is your support line. Now, Cashtrap was calling out 694. Basically, in a few minutes, Coach Isaiah is actually going to show you guys how to compare your entries on Cashtrap with TradingView. This is a very good trade. If I take this trade, I'd actually call this price. Now, this is 694. So if I come here to Cashtrap, USD JPY, if I come here to my broker, USD JPY, this market has told us buy at 694. I'll actually go and look at it. Now, market is this 707? I'm waiting for it to load completely. Market is at 706. This is 706. Now, Coach Isaiah is actually going to be showing you guys. Now, this entry here on Cashtrap is different from the entry on TradingView. So, Cashtrap doesn't really give you exact entries. But when Coach Isaiah shows you how to take these entries, you're going to be seeing clearly why we took this at this support. So now this was a 7-point trade. Cashtrap called out a call. Cashtrap called out a buy. The 200 EMA was below the candles, which was a strong indication for a buy. There was a B on the DMI stochastic. There was price was crossing the stochastic. The price was also crossing the RSI. The first currency was stronger than the second currency, which was another indication for a buy. So everything was pointing towards a buy. Do you understand? Now, if you guys have the currency strength, now this is an amazing trade. Thank you, Priya. If you guys have the currency strength saying sell, and you're coming here to see buy, please wait and wait until you see a put, until you see a sell. Now, I don't know, do you guys understand how to use Cashtrap? Do you guys have any questions? Guys, please feel free. Do you guys understand how to take trades? Now, Coach Isaiah is going to be coming on in the next 2 minutes, if there are no questions, to actually show you guys how to take these trades on TradingView. He will show you how to compare them with TradingView. Guys, do you guys understand? Just drop a yes in the chat box or a no in the chat box if you do not understand how to take trades with Hourglass Cashtrap. Are there any questions? No questions. So does everybody understand? Does everybody that came early understand? Catchy swipes. Catchy swipes, what don't you understand? Boxy D said it was clear enough. If I have the majority of the people saying it was clear, then I think Catchy swipes will have to make meet the rest. Guys, we're over 20 on this call. Why am I having only 3 responses? Do you understand how to take trades from Cashtrap before Coach Isaiah comes in and takes trading view for you? It's all clear. Colin says it's all clear. Priya said it's all clear. All right. So, Kachi Swipes, can you meet either Obianuju, Miracle Collins, or Priya to teach you how to take trades properly? Or you can watch the recordings and understand better. So, without much ado, we are going to invite Coach Isaiah on the call to actually teach you how to use TradingView. Guys, as you can see this trade, this thing actually bought massively. Price was at 700. If you check this trade now, price went up to 713. So if you are taking this trade for 2 minutes, you would have actually cleared. If you are taking it from that 700, you would have cleared. Or even if it was 1 minute, but the market bought. So basically, that's how you take trades. So Coach Isaiah, can you actually share your screen and show us how to take trades together with TradingView? Is Coach Isaiah on the call?
Yeah, I'm on the call. I actually took your trade. I actually took that trade, and I just cleared.
Share your screen and show us. Let's see.
All right, so let me share my screen.
I would like to see that trade. I was itching to take the trade, but as the mouth was dry like sand in the desert, I couldn't take the trade today.
Okay, so I think I can share now. Let's see. All right, can you guys see my screen?
This man took the trade. That's $128 on that trade. What price did you get in at?
I got in at when it came down to 705 area, I think, or be 706. Should be 706.
More $128. Sorry, let me use my calculator. 28 times.
Use your calculator.
That's about 64K.
All right, so guys.
Boss, do give away.
So guys, right. Are you sure you don't understand? Abi, you understand and there's no question. Are you sure you understand and there's no question? You understood everything Coach Sage said. Helen, you took the trade as well. So when you're saying cleared, which one are you saying cleared? Is it clear or you cleared? I don't understand. You took a trade. Okay, you took it.
Helen, I was teaching, you were taking trades. Coach Kachi, please meet your mates.
Kachi, what do you mean? I don't understand.
Coach Kachi, please meet your mates.
You're saying don't understand. All right, so guys, so since everybody understands how to actually the whole idea of the Cashtrap strategy, it's very, very simple. Sage has like broken it down the simplest form possible. I don't know, Kachi, what's this strange? Like following colors or what? I don't understand. Why are you complaining? What's your challenge? Like for real, let's talk. Okay, Obianuju, you have a question for who? Sage. Okay, Sage, one question before you go. What's your question?
Are you sure the question is funny? Wow, this market actually bought massively. Are you sure that's stochastic?
Yeah, I can see it.
Wow.
So this is currency strength is 1 point.
What's your question?
I think Uju has a question. I should it in the chat.
Uju, I'm listening. Uju, I'm listening, please.
I think she's still typing.
I'm on the question go long. What if the other points are
on point, but the currency strength is against it?
No, don't go in. Guys, never, please, from experience, I'm telling you, never take a trade against the currency strength meter. I beg. It's don't take a trade. Now let me actually give you a brief analogy. Now, in a group of friends, let's say you have 6, 7 friends, there are these friends who would speak and everybody would actually keep quiet and listen to them speak. And there are these people who would actually speak and everybody will continue what they are doing, like he or she is not saying anything valuable. So now I want you to take the currency strength meter as that friend who will speak and everybody will keep quiet and listen. Do you understand? Never take a trade against the currency strength meter. Do not. If you see the currency strength meter is saying buy and every other indicator is pointing for a sell, please leave that trade. That's why you have a lot of other currency pairs. Do you understand? Move to the next currency pair and look for other indicators. Obiani, have I answered your question, please?
There's one more question there by Chika. There's one more question.
Chika, where's Chika? With all these points, is it possible the trade might go south? Chika, this market is not my market. It's not your market. It's not the market of our forefathers. My guy, you can get everything correct and the market will choose to be useless. Do you understand? So if it will if the trade if your trade breaks your support when you're looking for buys, that's when you start hearing people like Isaiah Mix, Hart, and so on saying, guys, roll over the first time, roll over the second time. We believe it's going to come up, because you cannot be rolling over on a trade that you took against the currency strength meter and you're now praying that it's going to come up. Guys, you cannot mix hope and faith with strategy. You cannot say, I hope it will come up. Meanwhile, you took it against the currency strength meter. You cannot start praying for that kind of trade. If the market is saying buy and you go and sell, you're not praying, oh God, I beg. God, I will serve you after this trade. God, I have $100 in this trade. Let it clear, please. The market will still take your money for vanishing. So please do not take a trade against the currency strength meter. I beg. So I don't know. Have I answered your question, Chika?
I think, yeah. So yes, like AJ in the morning. This one carry AJ for mind.
Oh no, don't worry. AJ did me something too.
He actually dealt with all of us, so no big.
I went to sleep after AJ.
Okay, so guys, so I believe we can proceed. Is there need to check other time frames to know when to take a trade? I think it's something I have started doing. So
a double blessing strategy.
Yeah, it's just like that double blessing strategy is exactly what they've been talking about. It's still the same thing, but okay, I'll just talk about it. But let's talk about using TradingView to take trades on Cashtrap. So okay, so guys, look at this one. I think this Euro USD is actually setting up for a good sell. It's actually setting up for a good sell. But first, one thing you're going to notice is the prices on Cashtrap is different from the broker. So let's say, for an example, I logged into the broker. So this is actually Vite Forex. So whether you're using Vite Forex, you're using IQ Sense, you're using race options, whatever you're using, the broker on the prices on Hourglass is always different from the prices you have on your broker. So here on the broker, we actually have what? This is the price we have here. The price here in the middle of call and put is the price of the market. So we have 0.55 on Euro USD. On Hourglass, what do we have there? On Hourglass, we have what? We actually have 0.44. Can you actually see that the sell is trying to come down, it's trying to cost down. So, okay, let's just look at this real quick. So now we have that the strength for Euro USD on Hourglass is what? 69 is stronger than 44. USD is stronger than Euro. So we are supposed to do what? The bottom pair is stronger than the top. What are we supposed to do on this trade? Where are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to buy or sell? The bottom is stronger than the top. We are supposed to sell. That's correct. Okay, so we are supposed to sell. So now we all see that we got what? We got a put arrow, right? We all see that we got a put arrow. So that's a second confirmation. That's the second point. So now what can you notice, guys? We notice that there's a resistance here. There's a red line here. So you know that we are selling from resistance. And now price is at the resistance. That's what? That's our third point. That's like a third confirmation. So what? Someone was trying to call me. Someone's trying to call me. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me share and let me unshare and share again. Okay, so it's back, I guess. So now we also see that we have the Bollinger Band here, the red Bollinger Band. So we have 1 point, the arrow 2 points, we have the resistance here 3 points, we have the red Bollinger Band here. That's the fourth point. So by the time we come down here, we have what? We have S. That's 5 points already. So what are we trying to wait for? We're trying to wait for the stochastic to cross down to give us what? That's our 6 points. By the time the RSI is crossing down again, that's our 7 point trade. Now, 7 points is what? It's an amazing trade setup. So now, if we actually wanted to enter this trade, but we were looking for the price, currently the market is here on hourglass. We have 0.50. Let me try and zoom in. So we have that the price on hourglass is what? 0.50. The last three numbers here, we have 0.50. But now what's the price on my broker? 0.56. On hourglass is 0.50, and on the broker is what? 0.56. So if I wanted to get the entry, right, I just use TradingView. So it's very, very easy to get TradingView. TradingView is, you just go to www.tradingview.com and you sign in, you sign up with your, you either sign in with Google, your Yahoo, or any other thing. If you have your Apple account, you can sign in. It's open to everybody. So once you sign in, you have an account, you have your TradingView looking like this. For those of you that want to use the app on your phone, you can actually use the app as well. So once you get TradingView, on the left-hand side, these are all the tools TradingView provides. So you get here, if you click on this second option here, you actually get so many tools: trend lines, information line. Now, what you're going to be needing more often is your what? Horizontal line. So if you needed to draw a horizontal line, you just come here, click on horizontal line. So once you click on the horizontal line, wherever you want to draw it, if you want to draw it somewhere here on these candles here, what do? You just click here. It draws that horizontal line for you. So that is all you're going to do. So now, one thing you're going to be doing again is what? This academy is what? Is just copy and paste. Simply copying and pasting. Simply duplication. But before we go into that, on the right-hand side, okay, on the right-hand side, we actually have here, watch list. So watch list, you can actually add a lot of currency pairs that you trade on HFX, right? You can just add a lot of currency pairs. So let's say I wanted to add a currency pair. What am I doing? Let me remove Euro JPY. Let's say I wanted to add it again. I simply come here to this plus symbol where it says add symbol. I click on that and I type in Euro JPY. Now, guys, the broker you must always use. Let me show you guys something. On hourglass, the broker used on hourglass is FXCM. FXCM. And if you notice, the price for FXCM is not the same with the broker. The price now is at 0.56, but on the broker, what's the price? Wait, let me just refresh because, okay, it's actually what? It's actually 0.62. On the broker is 0.62. On hourglass is what? Is 0.55. So let me actually see. It's currently 0.61, but on hourglass is what? is 0.54. So you see that the prices do not correlate. So what you want to do is, whenever I want to take a trade, what I simply do is, since I know that I'm supposed to sell from resistance areas, since I know that I'm supposed to sell from places that have the resistance, all I'm simply doing is what? I'm simply duplicating where these lines are formed, right? That's the easiest way to actually do it. I'm simply duplicating where these lines are formed. So something like this, let me actually take out all these lines. So if I know that, okay, I wanted to sell Euro USD, what am I supposed to do? Just give me a minute. Let me try and make this big enough so you can see. All right. So I think this is better. So now, if I actually wanted to sell Euro USD, let's assume we're about to sell it now or buy it. Now you can see all these, the green lines, you see the red lines. The red lines are resistance areas. The green lines are support areas. So all I'm simply doing is, I'm just going to come to trading view. Trading view. Let's say I wanted to trade Euro USD. Let me actually take it out of here. So let's say I wanted to trade Euro USD. All I'm simply doing is what? I come here and I'm looking for Euro USD. So now the broker, I'm not using FXCM because FXCM is not giving me the same broker, because that's what we're using on Hourglass. So I'm trying to use what? Oanda. Oanda gives a more precise price, whether it's on the broker or you're trying to check from Hourglass. Oanda is going to give you the nearest price. In fact, it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. So I'm selecting Oanda. So once I select Oanda, it's going to be added where? Here. You see, you always see it at the bottom. So if I click on this now, what happens? It has opened up. So let me actually do something. I think this one is going to sell from this price, 0.62 Euro USD. I think we might have it to sell from here. So, but before then, all I normally do is what? If I see a support line, let's say there's a support line here, you can see a red and blue candle here. So what do? By the time I'm coming to trading view, I'm duplicating that. You can see the red and green candle. In this, on trading view, it's actually green. So don't confuse yourself. On trading view, it's actually green. So I just tell myself that, okay, anywhere I actually see this line here, you can see this red support line, red and blue. What am I doing? On trading view, I just come here, click my horizontal line, and I drop it here. The same place Cashtrap drew that line is where I'm going to drop my line. I'm simply duplicating, right? I'm just copying. Now, on Hourglass again, what can I see? I can see that there was a resistance here on this blue candle. But actually, what I can see is that the resistance is supposed to be at the wick of this other candle here. The resistance is supposed to be somewhere here on this candle wick. So let's assume that this red resistance was a mistake. Let's actually assume that, okay, there's a resistance here on top of this blue candle. So if I wanted to draw this resistance and get the price to enter on my broker, what am I doing? I just come here. This candle, I'm going to draw what? I'm going to draw my horizontal line. So now, at this price where I draw my horizontal line, relating with what I have on what? On Cashtrap, all I simply do is I duplicate, I draw that same line here on trading view. So once I draw it on trading view, the last three numbers, if I'm using a black line, you can see this black box here. The last three numbers here is what? 0.62. It's actually 0.62. So let's say if I wanted to take this trade, what am I going to do? Let me refresh this broker. It's messing up. It's messing up. I'm coming. Just give me a minute. Oh, my days. All right. So 0.62, right? So if I wanted to take this trade, I can do what? 0.62 or what? Or higher for yourself for 2 minutes. This is how I just pick my prices. So you can actually see, right? this is a resistance. I don't know how many of you were in that OBG's class, what he taught. You can see this candle bounced on this line. This is like a resistance. It couldn't break. It came down, it broke it, it came here, it dropped down again. It finally broke it and did what? It closed above the line. It dropped, it hit here, went back up, like just like that. It's rejecting on this same line. So we can actually say that, okay, this line is a good area of resistance. So if you wanted to sell, what are you doing? You identify your resistance and what? You look for a sell trade. But I don't know why this one is actually breaking. I think this one has hit here like 2 times. Hit here, it dropped, came back here, opened here, dropped before it's breaking. So let me actually see something that we can actually use to give as a good example, but it's still rejecting this zone. Still rejecting here. The only thing is going to need time to drop. It's still rejecting there. So let me see if we can find another trade example that we can use. Then I think that one will be better. So let me see Euro JPY. Okay, Euro JPY is another one that I like. Yeah, today is Friday, market is acting up. So, but I want to actually use to explain. Okay, guys, so see this one now. Euro JPY is also another good one. So you can see that JPY is actually 64. Yes, Oanda, I think it's Oanda as the broker on TradingView. So you can see JPY is 64. Definitely we're supposed to be taking what? We're supposed to be selling. But what do you have? We have a call arrow. We have a call arrow. So what happens? We're not supposed to take the trade yet until we get a put arrow. But now, one thing you're going to notice is we have a resistance here. We have a resistance here already. See the resistance here on top this red candle here. So we are selling initially. So what are we supposed to locate? We are supposed to locate our resistance. So if I go on TradingView, I check for Euro JPY. Let me check for Euro JPY. Let's look at this. Let me actually show you guys how we do this. So Euro JPY is just there, right? So you can see that on top these candles, just like we had it on Cashtrap, you see it is rejecting. It's already rejecting this this zone. So all I'm simply doing is what? I just pick up my horizontal line and what am I doing? I make sure that I'm doing it here as well. So you can see it came here, it rejected, it closed here. So all I'm simply telling myself is that, okay, since we know that this is 1 point, the currency trend meter is a point, we are expecting a put arrow at this area, right? So we have a resistance line now. That's going to make it what? Our 3rd point. We have price around the red Bollinger Band area. That's what? 4 points. We have S, 5 points. By the time this is crossing down, this is what? 6 and what? 7. So all I simply have to do is what? We have that this candle is still taking time to end. It's going to take some time to end. So by the time we look at this time, I will see that we have about 50-something seconds for the next candle to open. And that candle might give us what? The put arrow, right? That candle might give us the put arrow. So all I'm simply doing is what? I just wait for the put arrow to come out. You see, assuming you entered put, by now, you see, this candle would have been pushing up and you start rolling over unnecessarily. So all I'm doing is what? I'm waiting. I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to wait. I'm not going to enter this trade yet, right? I'm not going to enter this trade yet. So let me see. Let me confirm from the currency trend meter. Let's see how this thing is doing. So Euro just about 2 bars. Okay, let's just try it out. Let's see if we can still sell it. See, it went up and what? It's still rejecting. So I can come to my broker and see what? Euro JPY for a sell, right? I can actually say, okay, I want to sell Euro JPY. Euro JPY for a sell. The broker has started misbehaving. Last time misbehaving. So I can say Euro JPY for a sell. This is 812. 812 or higher for 2 minutes. I can actually say that 812 or higher because what? Look at this. The price line is 812, but what? The market is at 814. So let's try this one. It actually spiked and came down. Oh, I didn't see it. So let's say if we get it at a higher price, let me enter for 2 minutes. Let's see what happens. Let me try it out. Wow, I didn't set my time. But this is how I would have gotten what? This is how I would have gotten my entry. Right? This is how I would have gotten my entry. Because what? Cashtrap drew the resistance there. I know the market will misbehave today because it's Friday. I don't know why. But normally, this is how I would have gotten my entry. Why? Because Cashtrap drew this red line, the resistance here. Now we've gotten the put arrow. I think that all our points are aligning. We have what? The currency strength meter is telling us to put. We got a put arrow. Now we have what? We actually have the resistance. We have the resistance line there. You can see the resistance line, this red line. We have it here on top this red candle, right? Now we have it around the Bollinger Band area. So that's 4 points. You see how it's tanking. You see how it's dropping. So now we have S. That's what? 5 points. We have a cross down, 6 points. We have another cross down, 7 points. So if you look at this, see how it has tanked. That's how we simply get our entry. So look at this. It just dropped. Can you see? Can you see how it tanked? Can you see how it dropped? So let me see the chart box, right? So you see, we just cleared that trade from doing what's following the simple rules. We are just duplicating. If I'm supposed to sell, Cashtrap draws what? A red line at this point. What am I doing? I'm going to TradingView to duplicate that red line at that point and get my entry for a sell. It's very, very simple. It's not hard, guys. This is so simple that this is just what we do. All I did was what? Oh, there's a resistance line here. It was saying a call arrow. It was actually buying before. I did not enter to what? I got what? The sell arrow, because we are actually looking for a sell, right? We're actually looking for a sell. We're waiting for Cashtrap to call out a sell. And since we got a sell, what happened? That was the best time to actually take the trade. That was the best time to actually do it, to actually take this trade. Sorry. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I think. So you can see that was the best time to take the trade. I simply did what? I just duplicated this red line. I saw it on top this red candle. And by the time I went to TradingView, what did I do? I dropped the horizontal line on top this red candle as well. And by the time I looked to the left, what happened? It gave me my entry price. So if we're selling, what are we doing? We're either selling on that price or what? At a higher price above that entry price. So that's simply what I did. And what happened? This trade tanked and we cleared the trade. So that's too simple. It's very, very simplified. So let me actually see if we can find something else. Let me see if we can find another one. But basically, that's how you just get your entries. Because yes, TradingView is Cashtrap is not giving you the exact entry and all that, because you want to actually know your exact entry. But normally, you can still trade just from Hourglass without using or TradingView. How? You already know that this is a resistance. By the time Cashtrap calls what? A put, you know that you're supposed to sell it at this red line or what? Above the red line. So it's still the same thing. You can actually trade your Cashtrap without going to TradingView. TradingView, we just use it to do what? To give the exact entries, the precise numbers, right? If it was on Hourglass, our entry will be what? Our entry will be showing what? 805. I don't know why this thing is showing. Wait. Let me actually refresh. Let me just refresh it. So if it was on Hourglass, it would have been giving us what? It would have been giving us the Hourglass price. We would have gotten the precise price on the broker. We would have gotten the precise price on the broker. So this one is actually USD GPY. So let's see this one now. Let's actually look at this one, guys. So now we have that the strength, the top is 69, the bottom is 64. But when the currencies are somehow close to themselves, I don't like taking it. I don't like taking that trade. I don't like entering trades like this. So you want to actually look for trades that are far apart. You can see 69, then you're seeing 41. Not this type that has 69 and you're seeing 44, just five numbers apart. So this one, we actually have that we are looking for a buy. And what happened? We had a buy arrow. Now, what can you notice again? How many points do we have on this trade? Guys, can we actually count it? Can we count it? How many points do we have on this trade? Guys, let's actually try it out. Let me see how many people are getting it right. How many points do we have on this trade? Just look at it very, very well and drop it in the chat. How many points do we have on this trade? Count it and just let me know. How many points on this trade? Helen says 4. Who else is willing to try? Just drop your answers in the chat. Let me see who gets it right. Miracle says 7. Who else? 6. Who else? We're actually 26, and just a few number of people are responding. Gina, Dami, Inem, Jessica, Mr. Divine, Noel, Priye, what's happening? Victor. Like, you guys can, please, I need your response. I need to know that everybody is getting it right. So some people say 4, 7, 6, 5. Okay, so let's count it. Let's count it together. Let's actually see if, okay, 5 to 6. It's 5, not 7 yet. Yes, let's actually count. So now we have that the currency strength meter is what? Is telling us to buy. 69, the top is bigger than the bottom. So that's 1 point. So we have a call arrow. That's what? That's 2 points. So what else can you notice? What else can you notice? What else can you notice? We have that what? It came to what? It actually came to what? There's a support here, right? There's actually a support line here. This green line here, there's a support here. Let me actually make it green. Let me make it green and tick. All right, so now you can see what? The support is our third confirmation. We have the green Bollinger Band. That's number 4. So by the time you come here is what? This is 5 points. This is already 5 points. This is already a 5-point trade. But now, what do you notice? It has not yet started crossing up, right? It has not yet started crossing up. The stochastic and the RSI has not yet started crossing up. So by the time it starts crossing up, we have what? We have 6 points. By the time we have here the RSI crossing up, we have 7 points. So now, for now, it's just 5 points. It's just a 5-point trade. And we already know what 5 points means, right? It's 5 points and above. It's what? It's a perfect trade setup. It's a perfect trade setup. So I can, yes, or amazing, yes. Perfect or amazing, still the same, yeah. So now another extra confirmation is what? The EMA is below the candles. That's to tell you that this is an uptrend. In an uptrend, we are buying. We are never selling in an uptrend. We are only buying. So now we can actually say that, okay, at this point, we can see that there was what? You see here, you can see over here, there was a support line here, and here there's a support line here on this red candle. So USD JPY, let's go to trading view and try to mark it out. So we come to trading view, we search for USD JPY, and what are we doing? Our glass drew that line where? At the base of this red candle. At the base of this red candle. So if I'm doing that, I'm just coming here to duplicate, right? You drew it here. Now, let me show you guys something. You actually drew it here. And if you check the past, you see that this line was also here on these other candles. And that's what we actually did here. It's also here. So now what we're telling ourselves is what? This line is our entry for the buy. The support line is actually our entry. So we got the line to be what? 678. So you can see that we would have entered by the time this candle came here, 678 or what? 678 or below. Would have actually taken the trade. 678 or below. Because what? We are supposed to buy. You are supposed to buy. But what are we doing? If you want to actually get a perfect setup, you can see that the stochastic is actually coming to cross up. It's trying to come to this point to cross up. We have the RSI already facing up. It's trying to cross up for the buy. So all I'm simply telling myself, or all I would have done if I wanted to take this trade, was what? This price that I got from TradingView, 678. So what I would have done is what? I would have entered at that 678 or below that 678. And if I wasn't in profit, what would I have done? I would have rolled over. I'd have rolled over. So 678 or below would have been my entry. But what happened? It broke that support and what? It still came up. So I would have rolled over. Now it's at 679. Price is currently on 679. It's actually at 680. So imagine taking the trade at 678 and doing what? It actually broke. You would have just rolled. You would have rolled over. And what happened? Price still came up. Now it's on 680. So we're expecting the market to do what? We're expecting the market to keep on pushing up. So by the time we have this cross up completely here, you can actually see the stochastic is crossing up. So we can now say, okay, now we've gotten what? We've gotten a 6 points because the stochastic has crossed up. You see, it has crossed the line. If I actually zoom into this, you can see it has crossed. So the RSI is what? It's almost crossing. It's not yet, it hasn't crossed yet. So that's like a 6 points, right? 6 point trade. That's like 6 points trade. So let me actually try something. Let me see if I can get 678 and like try to take it again. Let's see what will happen. Let's assume that it never broke here. Let's assume it never broke here. And I just came into Hourglass and I saw that, oh, I like this trade setup. Let me try and take it. Let's say I wanted to take it here. Let's actually see what will happen. So 678 or below would have been the price for that entry. So exactly what happened here, what Hourglass do here? Can you actually see? Can you actually see how I'm getting the entries? Can you actually see how I'm getting the entries? Just look at this. This is not a real account. That's a demo account. Don't worry. No, I would not be so stupid to do that. That's a demo account. It's not my real account. It's a demo account I opened. So I'd have actually entered here. Okay, see, price is trying to break that. Price is trying to break again. So let's try and give this a rollover. Let's see what happens. That's what happened. No. It's a demo account. I wouldn't enter $10 with this account site. Wow. So well, I'm sure please don't take the trade. I beg you. Don't take this trade. Don't do it. Don't do it. I beg, please. So now you can actually see this answers your question. I don't know if Chaiko, are you on the call? You said we might get all the points and everything correct, but what happens? Price will still do what? Will still break. But if you notice what happened, it actually did what? It broke the support. So there's every probability that, okay, yes, since it has broken the support, let me explain what happened here. Let me just explain what happened here. Let me explain what just happened there. So let's say this is a floor, right? Price dropped, it hit the floor, right? What is supposed to happen? It's supposed to bounce up. If you throw a ball to the floor, it's supposed to bounce up, right? That's what is supposed to happen. So now we actually have that. What happened? Price broke this floor. Now let's say there's another floor below that. It hits that floor and does what? It tries to come back to this former one. And by the time it hits this former one, what happens? It just keeps dropping. It just keeps dropping. So this is exactly what happened. So it might go down to look for another what? It might go down to look for another support, another floor. It might go down to look for another floor. So we actually have a weak rejection around here. Somewhere around here should be like another support for that. You can see the market is here. We have a weak rejection here. We see another weak coming here. So another floor could be this area. So Cashtrap is just about knowing where your support and resistance is, or knowing your floor and ceiling is. Yes, you might have all 7 points confirmed, complete, but what happens? The market will still do its own thing. When you enter a trade, are you supposed to win all trades 100%? You're not supposed to win all trades 100%. But at least with these rules, at least you're supposed to have what? You see what I told you guys about USD JPY, right? I told you that I don't like taking trades when the strengths are almost the same, because you don't even know which one is dragging the other one down, or you don't even know which one is supposed to take the other one up. So I think this one should be a lesson for taking trades that have the same, almost the same currency strength, 60, 69, 63, just 6 apart. So I wouldn't be taking trades like this that have almost the same strength. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. Now we can see on currencystrengthmeter.org, you can see that USD has gained what? USD has gained what? Massive strength. They were the same strength before. USD JPY, they were the same strength, but what happened? It just gained strength all of a sudden. And one thing, how you actually know that something like this is going to happen is from here. Hourglass will also tell you. The strengths are almost the same. That means one might gain massive strength. You wouldn't even know. You might be in a trade, you might still take a trade, and what happened? It will just flip on you. It will just flip on you. So you only want to take trades that have strengths far apart, something like this. Can you see this one? 69.41. It's far apart. Before this one is going to gain strength and get to this, you've cleared your trade, you've gone. Because yes, even if Euro gets to 52, 69 is way apart from 52. So this one is, trust me, this is just like a practical lesson. Although here, I don't know why Hourglass hasn't updated. That's why it's always good. Like Coach Sage said, it's always good to have the currency strength meter from Hourglass and still what? Have the other currency strength meter from currencystrengthmeter.org. So by the time you see a trade set up on Hourglass, what are you doing? You're coming back to currency strength meter to reconfirm before you enter the trade, before you actually take the trade. So now you see that USD is very, very strong, right? USD is still strong. But what? JPY did what? It gained strength. Before, JPY was just about 5 bars, but how many bars do we have now? We have like 7. It actually gained strength for some minutes. So that's why it actually pulled the USD down like that. But we still have that USD is still stronger than JPY. So we are still expecting to buy. We are still expecting to buy this. We are still expecting to buy this. But like I said, this thing might keep on coming down. You never can tell. It might break here again, because JPY might do what? JPY might actually gain another bar. JPY might even get 3 bars and be equal USD. You don't even know which one to actually take. So this is one of those lessons we actually learn. So you can see it's actually respecting this other floor here, and it's even trying to break it already. It's trying to break it already. So this is one thing I don't like to take. You can always know that by the time Hart or Sage or Inem or Coach Mia would say, oh, let's take this trade for a buy or sell. What am I doing? I'll tell them that, oh, I don't like this currency strength. Or it's almost the same. Let's not take it, because I'm trying to avoid things like this. I don't like taking trades like this. So let's actually see. I think Inem said USD card was good for a buy also. Let me actually see if I can find it. Let me see. Okay, so this one, amazing. Okay, this one is perfect. So currency strength meter says what? 69, 69, then what? 22. So we know that we are supposed to take this one for a buy. USD card is 67 and what? 20. We are supposed to take it for a buy. We're having what? A call array again. So what do you guys notice again? Let's count the points. Let's count the points together. We have it on a support. This is the green line here. It's forming here. If I try to zoom in, let me try and zoom in. So now you can see that it's trying to buy, right? It's trying to buy, right? You can see the green line here. It's calling out a what? a call arrow. So strength meter is 1. We have the call arrow. It has a green line here. That's what? That's 3 points. It's around this blue Bollinger Band area. That's 4 points. We have the DMI stochastic as what? As what? That's our 5 points. But now the stochastic hasn't started crossing. So once the stochastic is still pointing sideways or pointing down, you know that this market will still drop for a while. So one thing I always do is that most times, once I check the currency strength meter, I look at the arrow, right? And I look at the support line. Sometimes I don't even look at these other things. Where my eye goes to straight is what? The stochastic. Because I've noticed that the stochastic is something that actually plays a major role in taking trades. The stochastic is one of the major things that plays a major role, right? So if the stochastic is still pointing sideways, trust me, this thing is not going to come up. If the stochastic is still pointing sideways, this trade is not going to come up. But if you have it pointing upwards, trying to cross up, that's when you see that massive blue candle pushing up and you'll be able to clear the trade. But for now, let me actually show you guys. If we are going to mark this up on TradingView, this is exactly what we would have done. This is exactly what we would have done. So USD card, you have that this red candle, it wicked down and Cashtrap drew a green line there. So all I'll do is what? Can you actually see why I told you guys about USD JPY? It came to look for another floor and did what? It started shooting up for a buy. So if you lost this entry, what would you have done? You'd have found the next entry. Let me just go back to that USD JPY real quick. Let me go back to that USD JPY and show you guys something. All right, so what did I tell you? It broke through that first support. It came down, right? It looked for another floor. This is another support line here. This is another support line here. The one we drew on, look at it here. We actually drew it here. This is another support line here. So still following your currency strength meter and everything, your point system. Can you guys see? Okay, yeah, you can actually see. So still following the currency strength. Remember what I told you, comparing with this, you see how the USD is bigger than JPY. So here, let's count the points. Currency strength meter is doing what? It's 1 point, right? It's telling us we should buy. That's 1 point. We have the call arrow. That is 2 points. We have what? A support line here. That's actually 3 points, right? We have it around the green Bollinger Band area. That is our 4 points. We have our B on the DMI. That's 5 points. We have what? Cross up on the stochastic, 6 points. We have cross up on the RSI. That's 7 points. If you took it here, you'd have cleared the trade. If you took it there, you'd have cleared the trade. So that means if I took it somewhere around this other entry, 647, or I think around there, 651 area. Let me see that entry here. So 653 or below, right? I'd have just rolled it. It would have shot up. I would have cleared the trade. So you actually see that's how it's easy to just count this whole. It's very, very easy to count your point system. So what happened? He came from the ceiling. He broke the floor. He hit another support. He went up, did what? Bounced on the ceiling again, came down to look for a new floor. And what happened? He's trying to go back up. This is exactly what Alex Lugo taught us. What W is trying to form a W. If I change it to the line chart, you're going to see it there. Although it's looking so rough. But that's exactly what he's trying to do. That's exactly what he's trying to do. So Alex Lugo said something today. It was like the right side of your W is always the strongest side. So I actually learned something on that call. I don't know how many of you joined it, but trust me, I actually learned a lot on that call. So just like this, you'd have found the new floor that this market is coming to find. And by the time you entered somewhere around here, trust me, you'd have cleared. Just look at, if you entered around here, you can see how this market shot up. You'd have actually cleared this one. So this is actually your 7-point trade. Like when you count it out, this is actually your 7-point trade. It still came back to the former entry. See it here. It still came back to the former entry. I would have cleared this trade like that. So 1, 2, B, 3, support, 4, Bollinger Band 5, the former call arrow 6, currency strength. That's your 7 points, right? So let me see if you guys have a question. Let me see if you guys have a question. So my problem is, how can you tell when it will break? You cannot tell. You cannot tell. Trust me, Coach said it. By the time you break support or resistance, what do? Guys, roll over. If it breaks the support or it breaks the resistance, as far as your point system is what? You're having more than 5 points. If you have like 6 points, what happens? If it breaks, what happens? It's still going to come up, but it's just that we don't know when it's going to come up. So you can either decide to lose that first entry, right? You can draw a line at the week too, but for easier understanding, Chinedu, wherever Cashtrap is drawing my line, man, that's where I'm drawing my line, because Cashtrap has already made the job easy for me. So I cannot see a line on the body of the candle, then I can't draw it on the week. If Cashtrap draws on the week, trust me, I'll draw it on the week. You can see, he drew it where? The week. He actually drew it on the week. So what happens? If I wanted to take this for a buy again, if market was dropping, I'll just come here to here, and I'll just bring it to the week of the candle. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just duplicating whatever Hourglass is telling me to do. I'm just duplicating exactly what Hourglass is telling me to do. So it's very, very simple, guys. The EMA, you can add it as a point. Price is still above. You can make, if you want to make this your 8 points, you can add it, but me, 7 points, I stop. That's why you have 5 points and above, right? Collins, that's why you have 5 points and above. If you want to look for extra things, I'll give you 10 points. As far as it's 5 points and above, that's okay for you. So the EMA is beneath the price. So that's already telling you this is an uptrend. Surely it is a buy. Surely it is still a buy. It is still a buy. Surely it is a buy. It's when you see it at the top. Let's see if we can find something that has the EMA on top. Let's see if we can find something that has the EMA. So you can see this one now. This one has already left us. Euro USD, it has tanked, it has left us. What can you notice? The strength meter is telling us to sell. And by the time you look at the EMA, what do you have? Sell is selling from the currency strength meter. We also have that the EMA is on top. It's now a downtrend. So we're only selling at downtrend. So now if we wanted to count these points, let's actually count it together again. Let's actually count it together. Let's use the former arrow that was formed. So assuming we wanted to take this trade, would have done what? The currency strength meter 69.40. USD is stronger than euro. We confirm from here. Let's refresh. So if we confirm from currencystrengthmeter.org, USD is stronger than euro. So we should be doing what? We should be selling. We should be selling that. So we have a put arrow here. So what do? You see that there's a red line here. There's actually a resistance line here, right? There's actually a resistance line here. So by the time price was coming to this resistance line, what would I have done? I'd have entered for a sell here, somewhere around here. Probably the market bought all the way to this top and rejected. The market would have bought all the way to the top and it would have rejected for sure. I know that one. It will have gotten to this top. Let's actually look for it on TradingView. So you see, it's actually coming back to this entry. So Euro USD. Let me actually see Euro USD. Let's see what's there. So now you can see, right? You can actually see this. So it drew what? It drew a resistance where at this point. It drew a resistance at this point. So let's check something. Let's try to see something. Remember, Sage said a former support is also what? Our new resistance. Did anybody hear that part? Did anybody hear Sage say a former support is also a new resistance? I don't know if you heard it. Let me see you drop one. Okay, prayer, you heard it. So now, let's assume this resistance was not here, this red line. Let's assume the market was buying. We didn't see that spot. We didn't see this resistance line initially. I wanted to know, okay, we have a resistance line here. But now what happened? Let me actually show you guys something. Guys, just pay attention. We have a resistance line here. Let me make it red so that I can see it very, very well. Let me make it red. There's a resistance line here already, but I'm making it red so that we can see it very, very well. So now I marked up this resistance line. And what do you notice? The candle actually broke what? It broke this resistance line. So what did Sage tell you? He said, if you keep on throwing a ball to a POP or a ceiling, right, continuously, what's going to happen? Can everybody tell me? If you keep on throwing a ball to the ceiling, or let's say you have a glass, let's say you have a glass ceiling. I don't know how that's possible, but it will break. So now what do you notice? Price actually broke it and is going for where? It's going for the next ceiling, right? Price is going to break and it's going to go for the next ceiling. It's when it locates that next ceiling, what will happen? It will start coming down. So now look at, we have a former floor, just like when you're staying in a story building. The other person staying on top, his floor is actually your ceiling if you're staying on the first floor. Do you guys understand? If I'm staying on the ground floor, my ceiling is the next person's floor. That person's ceiling is the next person's floor. So what happened? It has broken my ceiling, right? And it's going for the person's floor, right? Just assume. It has broken my ceiling, which is the person's floor. Or let's just say my ceiling, right? It's breaking my ceiling. You know, it has to pass through some concrete and stuff before it gets to break out from that person's floor. So now you can see that we have a green floor here. Now, if I actually say, okay, this person's floor is going to be my what? My new resistance, since it has broken my own ceiling. Let me use this person's floor instead. Now, by the time I use this person's floor as my new resistance, what can you see? This person's green line, which is the floor, becomes my new resistance. So now what can you notice here? Price actually came up to this person's floor, right? And did what? Price came up to this person's floor over here and started selling. That's simple support and resistance. So by the time it broke my own ceiling, it came over to this person's floor and did what? We actually sold what? We actually sold Euro USD from this person's floor instead. So now on TradingView, this is this person's floor right here. He actually broke what? He broke my own. He actually broke my own at some point and did what? It came up to this person's floor. So I would have waited, or I would have rolled over if I can afford it, but I wouldn't roll over because trust me, this is like a long trade. So let me actually see where my own, okay, my own ceiling was on this blue candle before this last blue candle. So what am I doing? The blue candle before the last blue candle is right here. So you can actually see what? That it broke through my own ceiling, then it came for this person's floor. So I would have said, okay, since that's broken here, it's coming up. Where is the next ceiling that it will likely hit and drop? Is this other person's floor here? The one we have here. The one we have here, this green line. You're saying that I'm simply duplicating these lines. So I cannot tell myself that, okay, if Euro USD comes up to what? 106, I'm entering for a 2-minute sell. That's how we simply get the next price for yourself. So on my broker, I would have been waiting for what? I'd have been waiting for 106. I think that's the price there. So let's check it out. Let's try and check it out. Let's see. Let's try and check it out. Let's see if you actually got there. So let me see. So you can actually see it came all the way to 105, what? 106 area, 107. So on here, I have what? I have 106. So what would I have done? I would have simply entered, by the time it came to this area, 106, right? 106. And what happened? You take for 2 minutes, and what would have happened? After about your 2 minutes, or if it's still around there, what would have happened? Would have simply done what? One rollover. Would have simply taken one rollover. After that rollover, what happened? It simply started dropping. It tanked. That would have been our entry, 106, and it tanked. It dropped. Now it's at 0.78. I mean, it's at 0.85, something like this. So my ceiling was broken. What did I do? I had to wait for it to get to this other man's floor that is now my roof. Because if I'm living in a story building, what happens? If my ceiling gets bad, what happens? I have to depend on this other guy's floor as my new ceiling, right? Do you get? I have to depend on this other person's floor as my new ceiling. If I'm staying in a story building, let's say I have my own, something happened to it, it was broken, it's no more there. What am I depending on? I'm depending on this next person's ceiling here, the next person's floor to be my new ceiling. So as far as this person's floor is my new ceiling, what happens? I can play with this guy's ceiling, or I can play with this guy's floor, which is now my new ceiling. So I can say that, okay, I'm throwing a ball from this place, it will hit this August floor. And what happens? I'm expecting price to do what? Price to drop. And that's what we have here. It bought to this point and what? It started dropping. So that's just the simple explanation. When price breaks your support, your floor, what are you doing? You're looking for the next floor that you can possibly get to take as your new entry. As far as your what? As far as your point system, your Cashtrap points are on point, are on check. You don't get scared. It's either you allow that your first entry to go and do what? You take a better entry. As far as your analysis is correct, trust me, guys, you just need to look for another opportunity to enter in the market. Or what some educators will tell you, guys, okay, it has broken our support. What do? We can actually double up at the next support, right? You can double up at the next support. It's either you allow that your first entry to go, if you're not sure it will come back there, but you're certain that it will hit this new floor and do what? Bounce. So you can now do what? You can now take another entry at the bottom. So that's just the explanation for those of you asking, what if it breaks the support or it breaks the ceiling and what to do? That's exactly what I do. So I don't know if you guys understood. Does anybody have a question? Do you understand it? Is it now simple to you guys? Is it not explanatory to you guys? Those of you having issues with entry prices and all that, do you now understand how you do it? Do you now understand how you do it? It's simple. This thing is not hard. All you need to do is what? Just get a demo account and open up your hourglass, open up your Cashtrap and do what? Just be practicing. Any setup you see and you feel like, okay, the points are aligning, what do I have to do? All I have to do is just what? I have to just come to my trading view. Once I come to my trading view, I search for the currency here. I type in the currency. Remember, it must always be Oanda. The broker on the trading view is always Oanda. Please write it out so you don't forget. Oanda is always the broker. So I make sure it's Oanda. That gives me a more precise price. It gives me a more precise entry. So since you guys understand it, let's see if we can find one more, right? Let's see if we can find one more and take as an example. Let's see if we can find one more setup and let's take it as an example. So this class is actually recorded. So what we'll simply do is I'll send out the recording, and during the weekend, guys, let's try to practice. So let's see if we can find something else. USD card for buy. It has already bought. You can see that entry is short order. So far 69, we have 18. So let's see if we can find something else, another setup. Let's see if we can find another setup that we can actually take. So this one looks nice. NUS, I think. So let me see the stochastic. Okay, it's not yet around here. It's not yet around here. So okay, guys. So let me actually show you this one. Let me actually explain this one very well for you guys. So now you see that we actually have USD at 69. You actually have USD at 69. So what are we supposed to do on this trade, guys? I don't know if you guys can tell me. What are we supposed to do on this trade? We have the bottom bigger than the top. What are we supposed to do on this trade? Are we supposed to buy or sell? We're supposed to sell. Temitope, that's correct. We're supposed to sell. The bottom is bigger than the top. So we are supposed to look for a sell. We're supposed to look for a sell. So now, guys, we now have what? A sell arrow. We now have a sell arrow here. So we now have 1 point for sell using the currency strength meter. We now have a put arrow. That's what? A second confirmation for sell. So that's like 2 points. But now, do we have the price around what? Around what? A resistance. Do you have the price around the resistance? Can I get your answer or no? Do you have the price around the resistance? Yes or no? Do you have price around the resistance? Is there a red line around where price is? What is resistance? Sage, it's the ceiling. Sage, I can't believe you're the one asking this. This is the resistance here, right? So see where price is. This blue horizontal line is where the current candle is. This is where price is. So it's nowhere around the red line. So if I'm putting my red line here, see where the resistance is. So what happens? For me to get what? For me to get the third point, what is support? Support is the floor. This green line. Sage, better. This green line right here. These are your support areas. So now, guys, look at this. We're not actually going to take this trade till price comes up to a resistance, right? We are not supposed to take this trade till price will come up to a resistance. But now, guys, this is another tip. Okay, but before I point it out, let me just count the points that we have currently. So we have what? We have currency strength meter telling us to sell. We have a put arrow, that's 2 points. It's not yet around a resistance, so it's still at 2 points. We have what? We have S. This is a 3 point trade. But what happens? Stochastic is not yet there. It's not yet at this red area, so it's still at 3 points. RSI is there. It's still in the middle. It's neither at the red or the green side. So that's still 3 points. But now, do we notice that we have a resistance before the main resistance we want to take it at? This is where we want to take it at. But what happens? Can you notice the one around here? Market is going where? Market is going up. We are waiting for the market to come to this one so that we can sell. But do you notice there's another one here? It will actually get to this first one here before it gets to this one. So now this is the main place we want to sell it from. But we can still decide to sell from this point if we want to. We can still decide to sell from if we want to. So that's where you're going to hear us tell you we can actually take a sell, but with a light risk. Why are we taking light risk? Because that is not the original place we want to sell from. That's not the original place we want to sell from. The original place we want to sell from is this one, the very top. But now we have one here before the original one at the top. So it is either we wait for price to come to the initial price we want to sell it from, or we do what? We take an old resistance here. We take an old resistance here, or like a support, a former support here. Because price actually broke here, went up, it came down to this former resistance and acted as a support. You can see this bounce on this. You can see this bounce. Let me actually make it big. See what happened there. There was a resistance here at some point, right? Just try to understand. I'll make it so simple that you understand. There was a resistance here at some point. So now let's assume price came all the way from the bottom, got to this point, it rejected, it dropped again. Just look at this. It hit the ceiling, it dropped down, came to this point. It bounced back again. By the time it was bouncing back, what do you notice? It broke. It broke here. It broke from this point. It went to hit a new resistance and did what? It came down. You can see where this candle ended. It came down, right? It rejected on this ceiling. It came up to this point and did what? It dropped again. It dropped again to find another support. So now we all know that we are supposed to be doing what? That to be buying, right? We are supposed to be selling from the currency strength meter. So we can either say we wait for this market. We either wait for the market to come from the floor to either hit this our former ceiling or this our former support, whatever you want to call it. It either comes here and does what? Drops. You can either sell from here, or we be patient enough. You can either be patient enough to do what? You can either be patient enough to see something like this happen. Buy from this support, break this old one, come here and do what again? And we sell from this one. So we have like 2 entries. We either sell from this former support, or we wait for it to break and come to this new one. So you say, okay, guys, let's take a light risk at this price. But if it comes up to the original price, we do what? We enter with our full risk, with the normal risk you want to take. So that's how we just get the entries. So if I wanted to get these entries on what? On TradingView, I just look for what? NZD USD. I'm looking for NZD USD. So what am I simply doing? Hourglass did what? It drew a resistance on these 2 candles. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to come here and drop what? Drop my resistance line. So the price for that original is what? 337. 337 is the price for that original entry. So now, where did Hourglass draw the other one? He drew the other one where? He drew the other one where? On the wick of this red candle. You can see where he drew the resistance here. He drew it on the wick of this red candle. So on TradingView, what am I doing? I'm coming to the wick of this red candle here. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm drawing my horizontal line there. So now it gives me my what? It actually gives me my entry for my light risk at 327 and my original entry for my main risk at 337. So if I wanted to take the trade, all I'm simply doing is what? Light risk at that first entry and what? And my main risk at what? 337. So that's what I'll simply do. I'll just simply wait for the market to get there. Let me refresh this broker so I'll be sure that it's actually moving. So that's all I'm doing. I'm simply transferring support and resistance from Hourglass. I'm bringing it to where? TradingView. I drop it there. I get the exact figure for my entry. And boom, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So light risk at where? At 327. So let me do something. Okay, let me actually reduce this risk before I blow my demo account. Let's say 2. So I can decide to do this. Started at 326, but I think the brokers are having issues because this thing is going to reject. I know. You can actually see that if I took it here, it tanked. It actually dropped. So, but I don't know why the broker is moving like this. That's the honest truth. I don't know why it's moving like this. We still have that price is at 327 here. I don't know if it's my network or what's happening. I think it's just, don't know, it's not moving. Let's see Hourglass. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. On Hourglass, I think that's actually rejected. It has dropped because if I look at this candle, you can actually see that. Let me remove all these drawings. Let me take out all these drawings. You can see that. Okay, this is the week here, right? You can see that it came up to an extent and it did what? It came up to an extent, it dropped. But I would have waited for what? I would have waited for price to come towards this area before I enter it for what? Before I take it for what? For a sell. So this red candle here is where I would have actually waited. So on TradingView, it's where? It's actually here. So that price is what? 327. It's actually 327. So this is 326. So if it comes to 327 or above that, I would take it for a sell. But let me see if it allows me to enter this. It's not going to allow me. I don't know. The brokers are messing up. But basically, guys, that's how I would have actually gotten my entry. So what I would have done is what? I'll just be patient and watch the market come up to what? 337. Then do what? I enter for my what? For myself. And another thing, guys, you know that you've actually heard that the market forms what? M and W patterns, right? So wherever we see M's, we're doing what? We are supposed to sell. Wherever we see W patterns forming in the market, right? It's what? It's for buys. So if you notice, what's the market trying to form? The market is trying to form an M. Alex Lugo talked about it today. So you can see something. You can see it's trying to form an M. So by the time it gets to here, what are you supposed to expect? You're supposed to expect what? You're supposed to expect market to come down. So it's trying to form something like an M here. So I'm expecting price to come to this point and do what? And tank and drop. I'm expecting price to get to that point and drop. If I delete my drawings, you're still going to see. You have it here. You have it here. It came like this. This is like an M forming. The M might not form completely, right? It might not form completely. It might do what? Let me actually show you guys something. The M might not see it here. From here, it came up here. From there, it came where it came down to this point. It might not get to this point. It might actually hit here and do what? And still tank. Exactly what I said. It might still hit here and still tank, right? So what can now? These are entry. What can you find out? He's already rejecting here. He's trying to sell. He's already selling from this entry. Are you seeing? But on TradingView, I don't know what's happening on TradingView, on Vite Forex. I don't know why it's behaving like this. I don't know why it's behaving like this. Yes. I don't know why it's behaving like this. I want to take this place, but it's not allowing me to take it. It's not allowing me to take the trade. So you see, it's rejecting this entry. It's rejecting this entry. So I'll say, okay, let me take a light risk. I guys see. I see what just happened. Can you guys see what just happened? Guys, can you see that drop? Guys, can you actually see that drop? Do you see what just happened? Do you see what just happened? Do you see what just happened? It tanked. It dropped out of nowhere. What did I do? I simply did what? I simply followed the drawings from Hourglass. I simply followed the drawing from Hourglass. And that is all we need to do on every single trade you want to take. On every single trade you want to take. That is all you're required to do. You're not doing much. It's not hard. Guys, this thing is not hard. It is not hard. Wherever you see your green lines, if it's a buy, what do? They place Hourglass your green support line. You can't trace it out on TradingView. The place Hourglass drew your resistance, your red line. What are you doing? You're going to trace it out on TradingView. And you wait for price to get there. The number you get on TradingView to the right, the last three numbers, 327, my first entry, 337, my second entry. You go to your broker. If it's at 327, you enter with a light risk for sell. I see the broker was not allowing me to enter. If not, this is where I would have taken it. It tanked, it dropped, would have cleared this trade. So it is so simple, guys. You just need to do what? You just need to practice. Don't be scared of practicing. If you cannot use your what? If you cannot use your real account to be taking trades, do what? Start with your demo account. Then use your real account to do what? To join the live trade sessions, the team tradings, be using your real account. Yes. So just learn how to be practicing. A day should not go by and you don't practice this thing. Because trust me, if you don't practice, how are you going to get it right? How will you know that this is what you're supposed to be doing? It's very, very simple. We are simply tracing. Hourglass draws red line here. What am I doing? I come to TradingView. I look for that same currency. I draw the red line there. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. Same thing with what? Same thing for icing. It's still tanking. It's still dropping. So if you took the trade at 327, what would have happened? You would have cleared the trade. But this evening, the market is not moving so smooth. You can see it's just doing boxes. So normal, it's Friday trading now. So that's how it is. But basically, if it was Helen, you took the trade and cleared, I don't understand. Helen, you cleared the trade. This girl. So that's all you just require to do, right? You see, it's still tanking, it's still dropping. It is still dropping. Are you seeing this thing? Are you guys seeing it? We took 327, and what happened? It tanked. It went all the way down, 291. So that's just how you would have done what? That's just how you'll be taking trades. If it draws it on hourglass, you come to your trading view and you find that point and draw it. Now, guys, you can also get trading view on your phones. It's the same thing. You can still get trading view on your smartphone. Whether you're using an Android phone, you're using an iPhone, you can still download the app Trading View. It's available for you guys to download. So you can see that it's just simple. If you follow the point system, this one is telling me to sell. This one is telling me to sell. What am I doing? I'm looking for a red line. If I can't find a red line above that candle, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the former support or the former green line that is above that candle. I draw a line there. So that might be my what? My entry for my light risk, for my low risk. So if I now get the price to get to the original red line, I want to take it. That's where I enter with my full risk amount. So do you guys understand it now? Do you actually get it right? Have we understood how to trade Cashtrap and get entries from TradingView? Yes or no? Let me actually see your comments in the chat. Wow, 2 hours. 2 hours of training. Amazing. So, guys, if you have questions, ask in the chat box because, yeah, exactly. I wanted us to finish before 10 because once it's 10, the market is closed. Nothing is moving. We can't actually learn anything again. So that's why we decided to start earlier because trust me, if we started around 9, we'll still be in this trade, on this train. And the market would have closed. We wouldn't have seen any example, nothing again. So since there's no question, guys, I'll just call one trade. Inem says can call one trade. Trust me, I wouldn't want to trade with the market moving like this. But let me see if I can find anything. But the market is I don't even know. The market is not moving nice. So I wouldn't want to call any trade. I don't want to call any trade. But let me see if I can find anything. If I can find anything, light risk, even if it's $1 or $2. Let me see. If I can see something, then we actually take it. But trust me, guys, you guys have assignments. You're actually going to watch this recording, then you take I'll show you guys how to create a demo account in case you don't know. In case you don't know how to create one. I'll show you guys how to create it before I end the call. What's happening? 5 minutes till the market closes. Abi? Yeah, 17 minutes till market closes. So it's not going to move so smoothly, but let's see. Let's actually see. Guys, I take God beg you. I'm actually going to speak pidgin. Say we should not do it, but see, guys, I'll just look for a setup again, and trust me, I'm not calling out any trade. I'll just look for a setup again that we would have taken. I did not say take. Helen, I know you're using your demo account. That's why you're confident entering trades up and down. But let me actually see. I don't know why it's doing like this. And he has left already. All these currencies almost have the strength alike. This one has already left. This one has left us already. Euro GBP. I can't find Euro GBP on hourglass. I don't know where it is. It's not an hourglass. It's not an hourglass. It's not an hourglass. It's not an hourglass. Let me see something. Nah, can't take that. So guys, all I'm trying to do is I'm simply trying to look for the I'm trying to look for the traits that have the strengths so far from each other. I don't know, why is this thing misbehaving? I'm trying to look for the currencies that have their currencies so far apart. I mean, their strengths so far apart. So if I can't find anyone like that, trust me, I'm not taking it. If I can't find anyone like that, I'm not going to take it. So I only want to look for currencies that have their strengths far from each other. So everything is already like is already leaving us. Everything is already leaving us. Can't find anything because their strengths are almost together. 51, 54. The one that has the strength apart I would have bought has already, okay, I think this one should be a setup that, I don't know why Hourglass is doing this, but this one would have been a setup we can buy, right? What we have to do, the currency strength meter, the one is bigger than 20, so that's telling us to buy. But what do you notice? It has to drop, it has to come down to what? To the support, the green line. I'm supposed to have it come down to the green line here. It's supposed to come down here to this green line. This area. It's supposed to come down there. So it's not yet a complete trade setup that would have taken. Have the B here, but the stochastic is what? The stochastic is still hanging here. The stochastic has to come down to this buy area and do what? Cross up before we count it as a point. The RSI has to do the same thing. So you just have to wait till you get at least about 5 points before you take any trade. Try to wait and be patient to have 5-point trades and above before you take any trade, right? So please, guys, we won't be taking any trade. So if you wanted to create your demo account, what are you doing? On your broker, if you're using your laptop or your phone, where do you go to? You actually come here. You can see this chat area here. You click on chat. So on your phone, you can actually do it. You can actually do that as well. So once you click on chat, you're going to see two options, group chat, and you're going to see what? Private chat. So you click on private chat and do what? Request private. You click on request private. So they've opened what they call it. They've opened the chat for me. So all I can tell them, this is already a demo account, right? So imagine you are on your real account trying to request for a demo account. All you would have typed in there is what? I need a demo account. I need a demo account. I need the demo account, and you enter it there. You just send them. I hope you guys are taking note of what we're doing. So I need a demo account. You send it to them, or you can just send it about 3 times. Okay. This one, they've told me I'm in my demo, but if you're in your real account, they're going to tell you, okay, we'll create a demo account for you, and they'll send you the details. So for those of you that might be practicing, right, and you probably blow your demo account, you can tell them to top up. So you can also say what? Please top up my demo. Please top up my demo account. You can also tell them something like this. You can also tell them to top up your demo account, right? Please top up my demo account. You can either request top up from your real account or if you're in your demo account. So let's at least see if they are going to respond to this. Please wait for a few minutes in the chat. I will check. Thanks. So just like that. So if you're trading, you over leverage, you blow your demo. You can actually top up your demo account. But trust me, it's not good to over leverage on your real account because the broker will not top up your real account for you. You have to fill it up from pocket. So please do not over leverage on your real account. Just treat your demo account like you're actually treating your real one, right? Treat your demo as if you're using your real money. And that's how you actually get better in trading HFX. Because it's demo account. It doesn't mean you have $100, you can enter $50 per trade. No, because by the time it gets to your real money, you actually lose money. Trust me, you lose money. You don't know how to manage your real account because that whole demo account mentality has followed you to your real account. So Okay, please wait a few minutes in the chat. I'll check. Thanks. Can you guys see that they just stopped my account to $992? Can you guys notice that they topped my account from $100 and something to 992? So that is simply how you just get it done, right? So that's how you just get it done. And voila, you have $992 to trade with in your demo. So guys, I hope you got value on this call. I hope you enjoyed the training. I hope you enjoyed the training. If you actually got value, let me see you drop sevens in the chat. If you got value, let me see you drop sevens in the chat. All right, Bugsy, thank you so much for plugging in, Priye. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to send out the recordings to everybody. I'll send out the recording immediately. The recordings out. I'll just send it across. So guys, thank you so much. Please, it's the weekend. Let's take time to practice. Create your demo. Right? I know the market is not open during the weekends, but trust me, just watch the videos. Every video you need to watch. Take notes. So that by the time the market opens on Monday, on Sunday night, you're doing what? You're practicing. So I'm going to be ending the call here, and I'll send the recordings to the group chat. So